I'm going to explain to you how to understand and find the specs of your computer, but first I'm going to try and explain a little bit how this stuff works. Real simple way of understanding this. This is a motherboard. This is what all these things plug into this, and this allows them to talk back and forth to each other. This is your processor, so you could think of it like your brain or the engine in your car. These two things talk back and forth. This is your memory, which confuses people because your memories are stored on here. But this is like, to look at it would be like, this is your mind and this is your brain. And these two things talk back and forth. And things are stored here. This is your storage unit. This is your hard drive. So your RAM would take something from here and process it back and forth between the memory. And this is your video processor. This kind of functions almost exactly just like these two things. They talk back and forth. Well, there's one right here. This is called a GPU instead of it. This is called a CPU, which means Central Processing Unit. And this is a GPU, which means Graphics Processing Unit. And these little things here are just little tiny sticks of RAM. They're the same as that are on your memory. So basically, this is the body of your car. This is your engine. And you can't go nowhere without your transmission. These two things are going to function together to make this thing roll. Keep in mind, pictures, anything like that's always going to be stored on your hard drive. If you damage this, you're going to lose everything. So that's why we don't like to drop these or throw things around. But I'll pull you back up on the desktop and show you how to find the specs and what those specs mean. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to find your specs on your computer. I have a computer running Windows 7. So I want to go here to the Start menu and left click with my mouse button. I want to go over to Computer and right click with my mouse button. Go down to Properties and left click with my mouse button. Here you have the specs for everything except for the hard drive. Right here's your processor specs. 2.6 gigahertz i3 3130M. Gigahertz is a measurement of how fast your processor runs. I could get into that, but you probably wouldn't understand it. It stands for a billion cycles per second. Now here's your memory. Your RAM is 4 gigabytes. And gigabytes is a measurement also. This lets you know that your computer is 64-bit operating system, which is pretty good. And this is the model and everything on your computer. This is your operating system, Windows 7 Ultimate. If you scroll down, this lets you know that your Windows is activated, which is also good. Now, in order to find how big your hard drive is, you want to come down here and let me get rid of that. Come down here and click on this file, and over here click on Computer. This says 465 gigabytes, but really it's a 500 gigabyte hard drive. They use part of the hard drive for other things. I'm not going to get into that neither, but it's a 500 gigabyte hard drive. They don't make 465 gigabyte hard drives. Like if you see anything 300 gigabytes, that usually means it's a 320 gigabyte hard drive. If you see something that was 240 gigabytes, it would be a 250 gigabyte hard drive. Understanding some of this stuff is if you have anything above 2 gigahertz, that's a decent speed of processor. And anything 2 gigs of RAM or more, it's fairly decent. You're not going to need more than 4 unless you're gaming. You can have 8 or 4 and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference in most cases if you're just playing around on the internet and doing little simple stuff.